Hi my dear friends, today we will see how to install VMware vSphere by using graphic user interfaces. So first of all we will start by doing lab 1, that is installing VMware vSphere GUIs. In this lab, so in order to connect to the internet, we need to assign the new IP address to our existing network card. So that here we can see in the vSphere, we can hear in the VMware vSphere client. So they were asking you the new IP address, and so we have to give it to the public. Then it will, and for that we have to go to the network and sharing center, and we have to select the TCP/IP IPv4 properties, and that will show the IPv4 address assigned to a network card. You can see now I'm going to for my IPv4 address, then I will show the properties. Now here we can see the public IP address of my server, which I have assigned already, that is 192.168.10.10. So in the advanced option we need to add the public address. So we will go to the advanced option here, and then here you can see add option. So we can here click in, and we can add the IP address which should be public, and we also need to add the default gateway, which will be our local direct internet connection. So my default, so what is my IP address so that my internet will be connected? So that is 172.16.1.60, and our default will be 255.255.0.0. So here we can add connection. Now you can see the IP address here, and the subnet default is mask. So this, what's the use of this one? So we are adding in the advanced section the IP address for the internet connectivity. This internet connection will be useful for the installing 3.5 net framework files through the internet. Now after doing that, we need to install 3.5 net framework files using our server manager. So we have to make sure to install all the files under Net Framework 3.5 features, including HTTP and non-HTTP activations as well. So we will do that. So we'll see the add roles and features. We're going to tools. So now we have done the full screen here. Now it's easy for us to do that. I will do an add and for features. Next. Yes, next. Now here we have to look for the .NET framework, which we need to install it. So we will do here. So here you can see that the .NET framework 3.5 installed, so which I have already been done. So if you have not installed, then we have to click the next, and it will be automatically installed here. Now after we install 3.5 net framework files, we will install VMware vSphere client on our server. Then we can access our ESXi host and vCenter console from VMware vSphere client. Here you can see here VMware vSphere client. So this is our ESXi host. So like that, this is our ESXi host accessing through vSphere client. Here we can start configuring our ESXi host. Now we have finished lab 1. Now we will see lab 3, that is working with the virtual machines. In this lab we are going to create a virtual machine and install the guest operating system in that virtual machine, and we will also see how to identify that virtual machine text format and by using the statistics. In this lab there are 3 main objectives. The first objective, to create virtual machine in our ESXi host. Secondly, we will see adding our VVM ISO in our ESXi host. And third, installing the guest operating system on our virtual machine. First, in this lab we need to log in to our vCenter server IP with the IP address and the credential which we have provided, and then we will set up for the vCenter. So here it will ask the IP address, the username, and the password. So I will type later @vsphere.local. Password is my Once we get inside our vCenter, we should create a data center, a host, a local machine, the virtual machine inside that host. To create a data center, click on the create data center. Now after we create our database, we need to add a host which will be our ESXi host inside the data center. So to do this, we will create. Now after we link our ESXi, here we can see the create a new virtual machine, and so now we will browse the database. This database we need to add our VVM ISO, which we already copied it to the desktop. Here you can see our .sdt file. Now we will do the right click on our ESXi host and select a new virtual machine, which will pop our new window for our creating a virtual machine. So the memory should be minimum of 1 GB of the storage, that the machine will be 14 GB, and because our operating system will take 11 GB space for installing. Now in the CD DVD, we need to add the data store ISO and upload our existing VVM ISO. After we create our virtual machine, we can check on the storage of 11 GB. Still we have not installed our operating system in the virtual machine. Power on the virtual machine and start installing it. Now after we install the operating system, we need to install VMware tool, which would allow monitor performance and allow other graphical enhancements. Here we do this like the guest operating system, and we will do the end VMware tool installation. Now we'll see installing the VMware vCenter server components, that is lab number 26, which is our last lab. So objective of this lab to install the vCenter server components and accessing vCenter using our VMware vSphere web client. Create a new virtual machine for our vCenter with the Windows Server 2012 operating system. So to install 3.5 net framework files from our server manager, we need to have installed the internet access as well. So we will do that. Now you can see here to install vCenter or server of using ISO which we have been provided. Just simply install it. Now we are installing to make sure the capture FQDUN, which will be using as URL to access vCenter using our VMware vSphere web client. Now we are setting up all the single app. Now we are installing our inventory service. We need to select the size of the inventory small. It should be small. Now we can see here like it will ask the license vCenter thing, so we will do that. We have selected the license key. Now after we complete our vCenter installation, now we'll do the finish. Now they will ask we have completed our vCenter installation. It will try to our centers. So with the help of this, we can install, we can try accessing our vCenter from our Windows 8 client. To log in, we need to have our FQDUN, and the URL should be in the form of http://fqdun.9443. Thank you. I hope this video will be helpful to you guys. Have a nice day.